Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another episode of Class A Van Life. And a beautiful day on BC's wet coast, on the wet coast of Canada. And of course, it's raining off and on. But that's life on the wet coast. So last week, I was telling you guys about that I ordered a whole bunch of parts. I ordered uh, a lithium battery, a diesel heater, and a couple of chargers. A DC to DC charger, and an AC to DC charger. So, what I got was a Dufresne 300 amp hour lithium battery. The reason I went with Dufresne is because John, my buddy that's going to hook all this stuff up for me, install the diesel heater and help me wire it all in. That's what he bought for his boat, and he tells me it's a reliable brand. So we're hoping for the best there. The diesel heater I got is a 2 kilowatt Vevor diesel heater. Vevor is they're getting better now, right? So I got like I said, I got a 2 kilowatt heater, Bluetooth capable, so I can use it off my phone, which is good. And the reason I went with a 2 kilowatt heater is I had an 8 kilowatt heater that was given to me by my buddy Andrew before he passed. But it's too big. It would heat me right out of there. For that little space, I have, my van is like 18 feet long, right? That heater is just way, way, way too big for that. If you had a 30-foot RV or a 40-foot RV, or that size of a boat, then that might be all right. But for an 18 foot van, way too big. And what John was telling me is with these heaters, you want to you don't want to run them at low settings all the time. You want to run them at as high a setting as you can, right? The hotter, the better, because for two reasons. One of them is it burns off all the carbon, right? So it's not getting carboned up, and once they start getting carbon up, then they start screwing up, and then it just creates a whole bunch of problems from there. Then you're cleaning them out all the time, and right, and it's just it's a headache that you don't need if you can avoid it. The second is that he told me that if they're running hotter, they're running more fuel efficient, so you're not burning as much fuel as you would otherwise. And a 2 kilowatt heater should sip fuel compared to one of these bigger heaters like a 5 or an 8 kilowatt heater. So there's that, right? Not to mention they're small. Like compared to a 5 kilowatt heater or an 8, this 2 kilowatt heater is just tiny. It's like 3/4 of the size of one of these things, which is great because it's less room that's taken up in my van, right? Less of my garage space taken up. And so there's that. And something else he didn't insist, but he very strongly suggested that with the chargers, he says don't piss around with the chargers. Don't buy cheap chargers. So I ordered Victron chargers, and you know, Victron's a pretty reputable company, pretty popular company, pretty reputable. So um, I I ordered a DC to DC charger Victron, an AC to DC Victron charger. They're both Bluetooth ready, so that's a good thing. Those I can control off my phone. Um, that should be interesting. We'll see how that all works out. And yeah, and then I also just picked up a wiper motor because, you know, Canada's wet coast. You kind of need that. It's a must have. So I went and got a new wiper motor. So I'm gonna install that, and I'll find out if it's actually the wiper motor or if it's just bad wiring. Um, I'm hoping it's the wiring, or I'm hoping it's the motor, and not the wiring. But even if it is, well, you know, I'm gonna have a spare wiper motor. That's never a bad thing in this climate. So yeah, and it's slowly coming along. And you know, remember I was talking about last week. I was talking about van life being a learning curve, and it is. And you know, some days it's kind of like, yeah, I can do this. Some days it's like, what the hell am I getting myself into, right? Uh, can I do this? You know, because there's a mental aspect to it, um, in which that, you know, unless you can get around other people, and find a community, um, there's you know, you have to enjoy being by yourself sometimes, you know, you know, or find people to do van life with, right? And there's the financial aspect of it, you know. A lot of times I wonder, fuck, like, am I going to be able to pull this off financially? Like, this van needs so much, so very much. You know, am I going to go broke doing this? But, you know, you kind of can't think like that. You can't think like that. It's, you know, because vans break down, you know. That's just the way it is. It's a mechanical thing. Sooner or later, it's going to break down. The best you can do is to do what you can to prepare for it. You know, put away a little kitty, um, a little bit of mad money, so that when something does happen, you're prepared for it, right? And you know, that's what I'm going to try my hardest to do, right? Save a little bit every paycheck, and you know, just keep a little bit put away, so God forbid something does happen, um, you're able to cover it, right? And that's all you can do, right? And just, you know, have faith that you have what it takes inside to be able to do this, right? To be able to make it all happen. And I find now that the more time I spend in this van and the more little things I do with it, the more comfortable I'm becoming with it, right? You know, this morning I woke up and it was pouring rain, and you know, it was nice and dry inside my van. It's kind of like, yeah, this is a great little space, right? So now I'm starting to enjoy my little space, my little piece of the world, right? Um, and the more the more I do to it, the more little things I take care of, and the more little accomplishments I have with it, the more comfortable I'm going to become with it, right? And you know, I'll know this van intimately, and you know, then when it does break down, I'll kind of have more of an idea of what to do to fix it, you know, and I won't be humming and hawing, wondering, you know, what's happening and how do I fix it and all that other stuff, right? Um, yeah, to a point, you know, like there might be some stuff that just kind of boggles me, and we'll just have to work our way through it, you know, figure it out. Um, and if you can get help to do that, even better, even better. But so we're kind of we're slowly figuring it out, and we're learning. And like I said, the more little stuff I do, the more comfortable I become with it, right? And when I get this battery hooked up and I get it all wired in, um, which is another deal, because now that I got all this stuff, now I have to get all the wiring to be able to wire it all up. And I am not looking forward to having to pay for that. I need 2 gauge wiring to run the DC to DC charger. I need 10 gauge wiring to run, I think it's my fridge, something else. And there's bus bars and shut-offs and breakers. This is not going to be cheap. I'm expecting this to be a $400-500 hit. I'm hoping it's going to be cheaper, but you gotta expect that, because it's not going to be cheap. Some stuff I can get off Amazon, like the shutoffs, right? Save me a few bucks there. Other stuff, you gotta bite the bullet, and you gotta pay the big money for it. Especially the bus bars. I was talking to John about getting the bus bars off Amazon. He says, don't do it. He says, just go fucking pay the money, get the quality stuff, and then you don't have to worry about it. And last thing I want is to buy something shitty and set my van on fire. So we're just gonna bite the bullet, pay the money, and get it all done right. Then I don't have to worry about it. There's some peace of mind that goes with that also, right? And once we get it all wired up and I get my fridge working finally, oh, that's gonna be so great. I'm gonna be so excited, because then I can buy groceries for a few days or a week, as opposed to day by day, and I won't be spending near the money I'm spending now on food for Dory and I. Like, it's just right now, it's atrocious. I'm eating out way too much. Mind you, I try and buy stuff that we can eat on for a couple of days, so I'm not putting out money for food every day. But it's still a hit on the pocketbook. So when I can go out and buy groceries and have buy 3 or 4 days worth of meat, and frozen vegetables, right, and milk, I can have breakfast every day, and bacon and eggs. Something I used to like to do is once a week, on every Saturday, I'd make me a really good bacon and egg breakfast, right? Bacon and eggs, hash browns, a little treat for myself once a week. I'll be able to do that again. Oh, that'll be great. I can't wait to do that. So that's it's all just all these little things, that help you get more comfortable. And you know, this is my tiny little home on wheels, right? This is it. So, you gotta make it your own, and you gotta make the most of it, right? And you know, I'm spending a lot of money to get it there, but even in a house, you would have to do that anyways, right? You got to buy furniture, and you got to buy the pots and pans, and you got to buy this, and you got to buy that, right? And if something breaks down, you're buying a new furnace or a new water heater or this or that, and there's lots of stuff I still got to work out, like showering, and going to the bathroom. But that's that'll come in time. For now, I have the marina, right? Or you know, park at Wally World, or head there first thing in the morning, and then I'll take care of the bathroom end of it, and maybe getting a membership at a gym. Not that I'd ever use it, but it's a place to shower, right? So there's that, or and there's ways to get around these things if you think about it, and you're you think outside the box a little bit, right? There's always ways around it. So I'm starting to become a little bit more comfortable with this, and the more I do, I'm confident that I will, I'll become more comfortable, and this will be a beautiful little van that's quite comfortable for Dory and I when I'm done with it. Speaking of which, there's my brat, little Dory dog, waiting for adventures. Dad, hurry up and finish this van so we can go on adventures. Yeah, I'm working on it. So, yeah. On that note, I think I'm going to leave this one here for now, guys. So, I hope, if you get something out of this, great, right? If I'm doing anything wrong, and you want to correct me, if I'm doing anything right and you want to tell me, I would accept that too. And I got a few new subscribers. So to all my subscribers, thank you very much. I very much appreciate you. And if you like what you see and you want to subscribe, or give me a thumbs up, or like I said, tell me I'm doing something wrong, tell me I'm doing something right, I'll accept that too. If you have any advice you want to share, that would be awesome. And I'd be grateful. So on that note, I'm going to leave this one here, guys. And I hope everybody has a good week. And we'll see you next weekend. And remember, keep smiling. Makes everybody wonder what you're up to. See you, everybody.